The Real Ghosts of Disneyland. Creepy spots in Disneyland that are haunted. Some people aren't always happy. How far are they willing to go to reach the happiest place on earth? Sometimes, after walking through the tunnel, we find ourselves scattered. Whether it's pirates, a ferry boat, a mountain in space, or a thunderous railroad, you might find yourself in a magical place. And don't be surprised if others are there who wanted the same as you. This is the Real Ghosts of Disneyland, creepy spots in Disneyland that are haunted. Mickey's Toon Town. Rumors that Mickey's house in Toon Town is haunted has been around almost as long as Toon Town itself. It's one of the places in the park that no cast member likes to be alone in. Some cast members, including hosts and photographers, have experienced cold spots, feeling watched, and even things moving all by themselves. They blame a ghost they call Timmy. America Sings. There are two different legends surrounding a woman named Debbie. The first is that a cast member from the old America Sings ride was crushed to death by the rotating building. Her name was allegedly Debbie. Disneyland cast members are said to have seen her doing many things, usually just small and non-malicious. They think she's just saying hello. Gingerbread House. From October to December, the Haunted Mansion transforms into the Nightmare Before Christmas. Every year, there is a new gingerbread house built. The first few years, the house kept losing shingles. Nobody knew who was taking them. Cast members joked that it was a ghost in the mansion eating the gingerbread. Now, each year, the designers leave an extra gingerbread shingle on a separate plate so that the ghost can still have gingerbread without messing with the house. Reportedly, the piece of gingerbread on the plate has continued to disappear, but the house has remained untouched. The Woman in White. This paranormal entity may have been haunting the land before the park was built. The Woman in White has been seen on Main Street, USA after dark, dressed in a 19th century gown. It's said she'll help lost children find their way to the Disneyland Baby Care Center. That's one helpful ghost. The Monorail. One of the earliest people to die in Disneyland was a 19-year-old man. It was grad night during the spring of 1966. He tried to sneak into the park by scaling the fence and climbing onto the monorail track. He never heard security guards screaming at him to get down, that a train was coming. Monorail drivers throughout the years have reported seeing the ghost of the teen on the tracks, but he always vanishes before they get too close. The Matterhorn. At least 2 people are known to have died on the Matterhorn. One of them, Dolly, still haunts the ride. The tracks near the spot where she died is allegedly called Dolly's Dip in her honor. More than one cast member is said to feel uneasy when walking through the area near Dolly's Dip, especially late at night. And a few reports of seeing her on or near the tracks only to be gone when you glance away for a second. During the mid-'80s, Dolly was thrown from her Matterhorn bobsled and hit by another oncoming train. To this day, her ghost allegedly haunts the ride at Disneyland. Tom Sawyers Island. Some say there is the ghost of a young boy who haunts Tom Sawyers Island. The story goes that two brothers hid on Tom Sawyers Island. They waited until after the park closed. The plan was to swim across the river. But the oldest brother drowned. A ghost of a boy has been seen by cast members late at night staring across the water. There are a few stories about a ghostly figure underwater and strange ripples by others. The People Mover. The People Mover is no longer running at Disneyland, but it is the location of a popular ghost story at Disneyland Park in Anaheim, California. In 1967, a teenager was killed, run over by the People Mover after getting out in the middle of the ride. Guests report getting their hair pulled, especially girls with long blonde hair. Space Mountain. One family went to Disneyland in 2001. They decided to go on Space Mountain. After getting off, one of the kids asked, "Did you see that person?" Their mother said, "No." And he told her that while on the ride, he'd seen a person glowing greenish down below. Mom had seen nothing, but the next time, she looked down when they went on. Still nothing. Her son was insistent that he had seen something. He thought it looked like a woman walking below. Space Mountain, Disco Debbie. Supposedly a cast member in Tomorrowland. And died while in the park. She's been seen as a greenish, glowing figure in Space Mountain. Walt Disney's apartment above the firehouse. There was a new custodian who was assigned to clean Walt's apartment. Being a new cast member, she didn't know that the lamp in the window is never turned off. They keep that lamp on to remind everyone that Walt's spirit still lives in the park. After the cast member was done cleaning up, she turned off the lamp and locked up the apartment. As she crossed the square, she looked up, and the lamp was on again. She went back upstairs and opened the locked door and turned the light off. As she leaves Town Square, she looked up again and the light was on. For the third time, she went back up to Walt Disney's old apartment, thinking that there must be a short in that old lamp, and decided to unplug it. She locked up the apartment and knew no one else was in the room, and as she left the park, she looked up one more time. Suddenly, the lamp blinked on, and she saw the curtains pull back like someone was looking out at her. She dropped all of her things and ran out to Harbor Point. She wasn't scared, but strangely comforted. Some people aren't always happy. How far are they willing to reach the happiest place on earth? Sometimes after walking through the tunnel, we find ourselves scattered, whether it's pirates, a ferry boat, a mountain in space, or a thunderous railroad. You might find yourself in a magical place. And don't be surprised if others who wanted the same as you are there with you.